All right, Miss Aurorah is back. Secured Entrepreneurs tonight. Miss Aurorah is going to get into some of these emails that you all have sent here, amusing the mess out of Miss Aurorah, okay? I want to thank you for emailing. Please continue to do so at info@AurorahDayConsulting.com. But here's what we're going to address in this video. So many of you are emailing saying, okay, Miss Aurorah, how am I supposed to get this thing right? How am I supposed to get this business off the ground when all of these people that I'm seeing, I guess you're seeing them on YouTube or wherever it is that you're seeing, you're telling me that their events or their masterminds are costing anywhere between $10,000 on up to $100,000 and more to join or to belong to or to go to and things of that nature, okay? And you're saying you really cannot afford to get to the places, to get the information that you need to get yourself together, to get your business together, is what you're saying. Well, you're understanding now just how real the wealth gap is. Secured entrepreneurs, it is imperative that you get your business all the way together. This is your life. I'm not even going to get on legacy tonight. I'm going to talk about this is your life. Like, this is real. And I appreciate everyone's transparency in these emails. And when we get on calls, and I want to thank all the secured entrepreneurs who came on board already in the month of May and everyone who's coming in April. I see you. I'm ready. I'm grateful, right? But you realize the severity in what it is that you have to do to take care of yourself financially, to take care of your family financially, right? All right, let's get into this. For those of you who do not know who I am Miss Aurorah Dey, and this is the Secured Entrepreneur Movement. So Miss Aurorah had to tell a few of you to go over to C-SPAN and check out the talk that Senator Bernie Sanders gave at the top of the year. I believe the talk took place in January, okay? He really got into why it is we're having a wealth gap this deep. And it is unfortunate that many of us have really done the whole living paycheck to paycheck thing, right? And Bernie Sanders is talking about what really goes on in the life of individuals who live this lifestyle.
2023, let me tell you what I see. I see a nation where 63% of workers live paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck, and I know something about that because I grew up in a family that lived paycheck to paycheck. And what does that mean? What does it mean, living paycheck to paycheck? It means that every day you are living under incredible stress. You're a mom, you're a dad. You are scared to death that if your car breaks down, if your kids get sick, if your landlord raises the rent, if you get divorced or separated, if you become pregnant, if for whatever reason you lose your job, when you are living paycheck to paycheck, you will find that if any of these things happen, you will find yourself in the midst of a financial catastrophe. And we don't talk about that kind of stress and what it means to millions of our people. Living paycheck to paycheck leaves you with no sense of security. You can't breathe, you can't relax. No cushion to fall back on, and no quality time to spend with your family in a relaxed environment. And that, in my view, is one of the reasons why the life expectancy of working people in this country is much lower than those who are upper income. Stress kills. And having to work to survive and worry about your day-to-day existence for yourself and your kids, that kind of stress makes people sick and eventually kills them.
And please don't be upset by the price that is going to cost you to get into some of these groups and some of these masterminds, okay? Because when you pay your $50,000, you're in a room with other people who also paid $50,000. And more than likely, you're going to do some type of business with these people. Some of these people, they're going to be your future business partners in some kind of way. You know that anyone who had the ability to make the same type of investment that you are making is more than likely a like-minded person, a like-minded individual, some individual that you have some things in common with. Maybe that's your lifestyle. It's definitely related to the type of business that maybe you're in or you want to be in, but you all are going to be learning some of the same things, some of the same techniques that you will utilize in commerce, whatever business it is that you're trying to get into, whatever type of investments that you're looking to make. You're almost guaranteed to meet several people in this room who can assist you. Why? Because they have paid the cost. Okay. They are doing their thing and they have the ability to get into that room. Okay. So now you're asking people to lower the cost to give you the information that's going to change your life forever. It's not going to happen. And as far as Ms. Aurorah is concerned, that's exactly why we have a wealth gap. Yes, we need separation. We need separation because I'm definitely not trying to have a conversation with people who really don't get it. I cannot have a conversation with Elon Musk. You know what I can do when I get in front of Elon Musk? Ask a bunch of questions. Ask how much does it cost? Where are you showing up at? How much is it going to be? Okay. That's an investment because I'm about to have a conversation that just might change the course of my life. Whatever I was thinking 5 minutes before I got up in here, my mind might be changed because I get to have this conversation with this individual who has accomplished so much. He's not where he is. I don't care how many crazy things people think that he's doing or has done. It doesn't matter. He didn't get to where he is because he's a big dummy. Okay. So I know that I'm not going to spend $20 to get his time. I know it's going to cost me. And guess what? I'm ready. Right. So that's how you have to now begin to look at this thing when you're approaching. You know, you're saying, okay, let me look at this. Let me look at that. Oh, my God. Okay. What are you going to do to increase your income? And y'all know Mr. Aurorah doesn't really like to use that word because we all know that income equals tax. Right. So, what are you going to do to increase? What are you going to do to increase? Because that's the name of this game right now. How is it that you're going to start putting something in place that you can afford to do? Okay. And then begin to make the proper investments in yourself. Okay. To assure that your business is off the ground so that you can get into some of these expensive groups and masterminds that you're trying to get into. And what did Senator Bernie Sanders say even about the income of the average American working class person? And Ms. Aurorah already gave you the videos when I talked to you about the monies that you make for your age. Where are you in the categories that the Internal Revenue Service says you should be in at your age? Okay. And many of you email saying, oh my God, I just really cannot believe these numbers are real. A lot of you were saying you can't believe that those numbers are real. And I'm like, wow. Because they're telling you these are the tax returns that we get from people who are making this type of money. And this is the age range. These are the groups of ages of people who are making this type of money. And I asked you all, where is it that you stand in this? Okay. Listen to what Senator Bernie Sanders has to say about the situation with income.
1/3 of our workforce, 1/3 of our workforce, almost 52 million workers earn less than $15 an hour. And let's do the economic math on that. If you are a full-time worker making $15 an hour, you will receive an income of about $31,000 plus before federal, state, and local taxes, $31,000. Well, today, now this is for people making $15 an hour, and there are millions of people making $11, $12, $9 an hour. Some people still making $7.25 an hour. Well, today it happens that the average landlord in America is asking new tenants to pay, on average, $1,900 a month for rent, $22,800 a year. The average household in America spends over $5,200 a year on groceries. And then, of course, there are the costs of childcare and education, healthcare, medicine, transportation, clothing, a cell phone, a computer, all things that you need. So you tell me, my friends, tell me, how is anyone able to survive when your basic needs cost more than your income? And that is the reality that millions of working-class Americans experience every single day.
Do you all know that there was $42 trillion of new wealth created between December 2019 and December 2021? $42 trillion in new wealth was created. 26 trillion of those dollars went to the 1% of richest people. $16 trillion went to the 99%, the bottom half of people. Now, if you had to guess how many people were in the 99%, then we know what happened to the $16 trillion, right? But $26 trillion is with the 1%. And all 1% is anybody making over $1 million, according to the World Bank. According to the World Bank. Anybody with over $1 million, you're in the 1% according to the World Bank. And according to the World Bank, extreme poverty increased in 2020. The World Bank says that extreme poverty is on the rise. It increased in 2020. And do you know what they say extreme poverty is? An individual who makes around or less than $2.15 a day. $2.15 a day. And the World Bank says that extreme poverty increased. Okay. So, secured entrepreneurs, those of us who are here who have gone from sole proprietor to CEO, really get it. Really get it. That now, I see there's a glare. There's sun coming in the other windows, guys. So please forgive Miss Aurorah, because you know I'm in Vegas. Okay, but we understand, because even Senator Bernie Sanders was talking about how it is the CEOs of these major corporations make so much more than the employees who actually make the business go and grow. And I will say this, for those of you who are telling me that, you know, You have these customer service jobs and you're only going to make so much money on the customer service job. And when you get home from that customer service job, you are beat. You have children, you have spouses, you got responsibility. Like it's a wrap. Like what can you do? And believe Miss Aurorah did a customer service job back in the day as well. And I understand exactly what it is that you are saying in these emails. I totally get it. Okay. However, this is a real thing that you work for these corporations, okay? Slaving yourself, going along with the company politics, being abused, okay? You're in poor health, for the most part, many people are in poor health because you're working yourself so many hours and you're scared to death to take a day off. You don't know what to heaven is going to happen if you don't show up, okay? You understand that you are replaceable, okay? Listen to what Bernie Sanders has to say about the salaries of the CEOs and the billionaires, okay?
Nearly 600,000 Americans are homeless. The top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 90% of the American people. Today, while millions of ordinary workers are working longer hours for lower wages, the CEOs of the largest corporations in our country now make almost 400 times as much as the average worker, the highest CEO-worker differential in American history. In the 1950s, CEOs made about 20 times more than the average worker. In the 1980s, they made 59 times more than the average worker. In 2009, they made about 180 times more than the average worker. And today, according to the latest figures, CEOs now make 399 times what the average worker makes. And what you will find is that the economy is doing extraordinarily well. It's doing fantastically for the people on top, for the billionaire class. Unfortunately, the economy is not doing so well for the working class of our country when we have tens of millions of families falling further and further behind as they struggle to pay their bills, take care of their kids, and put food on the table. The gross unfairness and the ugliness and the cruelness of our current economy can be seen in stark terms when we look at how the working class and the billionaire class have made out during the horrible pandemic we have experienced. On one hand, tens of thousands of American workers died going to their jobs during the worst public health crisis in modern American history. These extraordinarily brave people got up and they went to work. They did their jobs. And they were nurses. We've lost thousands and thousands of nurses treating us during the pandemic. They are bus drivers. They are meatpacking workers. They are EMT staff. They're cops, they're firemen, they're teachers, they're grocery store workers. And there are many, many others who went out and did what they had to do. And many of them lost their lives, and others became seriously ill. That's what happened to working families. On the other hand, sitting home safely in their offices and in their homes, the billionaire class during this period became $2 trillion richer, often jacking up prices during the pandemic for the products we needed. Desperate workers forced to go to work in unhealthy and unsafe environments, and thousands of them died because they did their essential jobs and because they had to feed their families. Meanwhile, billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson were out taking joyrides to outer space, out buying $500 million yachts and living in huge mansions with dozens of bathrooms. Today, while more and more working-class Americans are unable to afford the health care that they need, 3 people, 1, 2, 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of American society. 165 million people. Let me repeat that, because you ain't going to hear it on TV very often or hear it discussed in Congress. We are living in a moment when 3 people now own more wealth than the bottom 165 million Americans. We now have more income and wealth inequality than just about any other period in American history.
So Ms. Aurorah is going to end it with this, because I know for a fact that it could get to a place where you just want to quit, like you want to leave your job, you think you want to start something, but hold on now, because you need money, okay? So Ms. Aurorah will always tell all of you who email and all of you that I get to talk with, stay on your job. Whatever it is that's bringing money to you every day, you need to stay right there. Stick with that and begin to work on your own business. Begin to work on it, okay? And even when that business starts to take off, find a way to have some type of gig that's bringing in some monies, because you don't know. You never know what's going to happen. And Ms. Aurorah tells everybody, it only takes one bad business deal to knock you out, and it can knock you out for a long period of time, okay? Which is why it's a real thing for you to be prepared to be in business. Now, this is a big problem that Ms. Aurorah helps secured entrepreneurs to solve when they come on board here at Aurorah Dey Consulting, because people start things, okay? People start things, they start making money, but they really don't have any of the legalities together. They don't have a lot of the back office things together. They can't really even tell me how much money they made, how much money they started the business with, how much, is there a profit? Is there a loss? Like, they don't even really know, okay? So you have to do what it is that you have to do to continue to bring monies in, keep the lights on, keep the rent or the mortgage paid, because see, you can't be stressed and try to step out and help yourself, okay? You're not going to be helping yourself if you stress yourself out about, you got to have a cell phone, okay? You got to have a computer, you got to have access to proper food, clean water. You know what I'm saying? Like the basic necessities of life, you have to be able to give those things to yourself, okay? So that you can have some peace to do your thing, all right? So I just want all of the entrepreneurs who are emailing to know that you can do something. You can do something, but you're going to have to start where you are. Don't choose something that's going to cost you a whole lot of money to get started. Like, don't choose something where you got to get a whole bunch of products, don't start that. Don't do that, okay? Do whatever it is that you can do that doesn't cost you much of anything. Because, yes, some of you were saying you want to get on some of these platforms. It's like $50 a month. And then you have to have this. It's $15 a month. Then you have to have that. It's another $20. I get it. All of that is adding up. And if you're not making any money, you're not going to be able to sustain any of that anyway. So you'll have to now depend on your own innate abilities, okay, to give birth to your talents, to give birth to your abilities, to give birth to your gifts, okay? Whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, please start doing that. And as the monies comes in, then you can start investing in the things that's going to get you out to have access to more people. Because what is it all about, folks? Leads, 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 right? Okay, so that's what Miss Aurorah wants to share tonight. You all know you can find Miss Aurorah at AurorahDayConsulting.com. And until next time,